Good morning and welcome to day 9? I think it's day 9 of Vlogmas. We are going to have a little bit of a slow morning because I'm tired. That was a long day yesterday, but it's such a fun, enjoyable day. So what do we need to do this morning? I have to send a few messages at this time. There are just so many messages near the end of the semester. And when I say messages, I don't mean emails, because in China, they don't really use email, not for these situations. Some companies do, but it's much more common to use different communication apps. So I need to check a couple of those apps and respond to messages. I also do need to write up a discussion board for my PhD class because it's ending this week and they want us to do a reflection on, the progress that we made during this course. I also do want to get things ready for my work that I'm going to do tomorrow. I've decided during my 3-hour work block tomorrow on Friday, I'm going to do a lot of work for the final exam or for the final score. My students have their final score divided into 2 parts. 40% of their score is their final exam score and 60% is everything else that they've done that semester. So attendance, participation, homework, all of that included, any projects, any other presentations, all of that is included in the 60%. And so now that we're officially finishing up the semester, we're moving into final exams, I can total up all of that attendance. I can total up the participation. I can total up the homework because there really aren't any new homework assignments. We don't have any new classes really. I just want to get everything done up to this point. Now, if someone is late for the final exam or if they don't show up for the final exam, then I'll go back and I'll readjust the scores. But if I can have the majority of the work done now, it just makes the grading process so much easier, especially after final exams. I'm gonna be so tired. So tomorrow on Friday, that's my plan, is I want to power through all of my classes. I have 9 different classes this semester. And so what I do to total up their attendance and their participation and everything is I just print out my roster. I have all of their names. I have their student numbers. These are not their real names, by the way. These are their English names, which are obviously not their official ID identification names. And then for each week, I just have a little marker. So if they were absent, they got an X. If they were there, they got a check mark. And then there are all these other codes that I put on as well. So I don't know how well you can see it. I'll explain it. If they have a purple swipe next to it, that means that they did the homework on time. If they have a purple swipe with the letter L next to it, it means that they did their homework, but their homework was late. So I'll take off a couple of points for that. And then if they have a blue swipe or a pink swipe, that's really talking about their participation. So if they have a pink swipe, that means they really didn't do a good job participating on that day. It's a really easy, fast way for me to record how the students are performing in class. So if I look up and I see that somebody's on their phone and they have been on their phone for a bit, I just give them a pink swipe. My students are adults, and so I tell them that they're able to choose how they want to study. They are able to choose their score, to be completely honest. And I tell them that, if you're not doing a good job, I'm gonna write that down. I won't make a big deal out of it. I'm not gonna always call you out. I do sometimes, but I just keep notes on their performance. And if they do really excellently, like they're really killing it that day, then I give them a blue swipe. And so at the end of the semester, I'm able to look at the chart and I'm just able to see blue, 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 blue. If I see multiple blues, then I know that they really were working hard this semester, because I only give blue swipes out if they're really, really doing an excellent job. It's not difficult work. It's just a little bit tedious to go through. I don't know, I think I have 300 students this semester to go through all of them, check all the attendance, every time they were late, every time they were absent, every time they had an excused absence, every time they did their homework or turned it in late, or how good their performance was. Like I said, this can all be adjusted, but if I can get up until basically now figured out, it's quite easy at the end of the semester. So that's going to be my main goal for tomorrow. And also, we need to do Advent because I didn't do Advent yesterday because I was in Hong Kong. So we have plenty of Advent to do. I don't even know what today is. Everything is so blurry in my brain. Okay, let's see. We have yesterday's advent, which is, no way. Okay, that's crazy. Yesterday's advent says watch Home Alone 2. I mean, we're so close on that one. We're so close. I watched Home Alone 1. Does that count? I still want to watch Home Alone 2. Maybe I'll do that, and I don't think I'll have time tonight. I'll find some time and I'll watch Home Alone 2. But I think that's kind of crazy that it worked out that way, because I mean, yeah, maybe you could say I cheated and put it, but I wasn't planning on going to Hong Kong at that time, and I wasn't planning on going to see that movie. They have a couple of other movies that are showing, like they're showing The Great Gatsby this weekend, and I had kind of thought about going to that one instead. Okay, and then for today is, oh, okay, I can definitely do that today. Today is make a donation. So I can add that to my to-do list for today. When I send those messages and when I do my PhD, I can also make a donation. Okay, not bad. Welcome to the chatty vlog. I am a very chatty person, and I haven't said that in a while. So if you're looking for chatty type of vlogs, these are the type of vlogs that we do. But actually during VLOGMAS, doesn't everybody just do chatty vlogs? Maybe. Anyway, I was so looking forward to this last night. Last night I was like, oh, I really wish I had my tea with me. I really wish I could open my advent calendar and see my new tea. So we have only opened one of these. I have so many left still. So let me open number 2 and see what it is. Whew. Okay, this one has to have cinnamon or something in it. It smells so strong. Okay, this one is called Christmas Jewel Tea. I wonder if all of them are going to be Christmas themed, because I thought a really fun thing about the advent would be to try the different teas without having to buy like the full sizes of them. I wonder if they're all Christmas. Okay, yeah, this is definitely like cloves. It's really very Christmassy. All right, let's see what it says. It says Christmas Jewel Tea. It concocts a delightful new Christmas wonder to warm a cold winter's night. A glistening gem, this sumptuous blend of green tea, oh, okay, is accented by festive spices and sweet orange. Okay, I really don't smell the orange, but I wonder if I'll taste it. Let's get some work done before we head to class this afternoon. I do have 4 hours of class in the afternoon, and then I'm going to meet some coworkers for dinner. So that's the agenda for today. I realized I usually say that at the beginning and didn't say that yet. And I'm gonna go open the door, because anytime the door is closed, my cat is like, what are you doing in there? I need to go in there. What are you doing? Are you having fun without me? So let's make some tea. Let's get some work done. It's gonna be a good day, a slow day, slow morning anyway. Okay, this is so complicated. This is something that I'm dealing with at work. Most of my students finish their classes during week 17. We have an 18-week semester. So sometimes I'll finish on 17, sometimes I finish on 18. All of my classes finish on week 17, except for these 2 classes. I have 2 classes on Tuesday of week 18. However, multiple students from these classes have reached out to me, and they told me that most of their classes end on week 17. They just have a handful of classes on that Tuesday of week 18. So they asked me if I would be willing to move that class, not cancel it, just move that week 18 class to another week, like to week 16 or to week 17. That way they don't have to hang around campus for like 4 or 5 days just to attend those Tuesday classes. They could go home a little bit earlier, because really they're hanging around for several days just to attend those Tuesday classes. And so I said, yeah, I'm more than willing. It doesn't matter to me. I'm going to be at school anyway. I have grades to submit. I have paperwork to do. Oh, just remembered there is some new paperwork that I need to fill out, and I don't remember what the deadline for that was. Let me double check. Okay. The deadline for that is like week 20. So I will be at school anyway. Doesn't matter to me. But I still have to ask for permission for the school to change the time, and I did, and they denied my request, and they said that this doesn't fit under the guidelines for a personal reason. Like the teacher would want to change the class for a personal reason. And I was a little bit like, well, I don't want to change the class. It's not my personal reason. It's the student's personal reason. And so I told them that it got denied, and they were like, but the Chinese teachers got their request approved. So now the students are like scouring the school to talk to different people because they really want my class time. Now my class is truly the only class that's keeping them there. So it's a little bit complicated right now, and I feel a little bit nervous. Like, I don't want to be the one teacher that's like causing problems, even though it's not me. I'm not causing problems. I'm willing to do whatever. The students are very insistent about trying to get this approved. So they were just sending me some messages about it. They said they're like having a meeting today with people. I don't know. I will just do what I'm told. I will just do what I'm told. I don't know if you can see, but the tea is like a pink color. It's so pretty. That's very hot. Also, my friend sent me a package, so I want to open it. So cute. It's like a little jelly cat. There's some candy inside. That's adorable. My goodness, I love this so much. Okay, let's put you on the couch, buddy. So something I didn't mention earlier this morning is that I'm heading to class early, or I'm headed to work early, because we have an all-staff meeting during the lunch break. It starts at 1:15 and goes until 2 o'clock. However, guess what time my class starts? 2 o'clock. I think this is the meeting that I mentioned last week that's supposed to be all about like attendance and grading and end of the semester work. So I'm gonna go to the meeting now and we'll see how it goes. We'll see what happens. All right, well, classes have finished. That is the last, I think it's one of the last times I'm going to actually teach. I think from here on out, we are in final exam mode. So we finished the classes. We also finished the meeting, which I'll debrief you on the meeting a little bit later. That was not what I expected it to be. I'm going to go meet some friends slash coworkers. We're more friends than coworkers, if I'm completely honest. We're gonna try out a new restaurant we've never tried before. We've just seen it from afar and it looks interesting. So I'm gonna head down there, have a nice dinner with them, and then when we get home tonight, I'll let you know about the meeting, because the meeting was something else. Oh, before I go, I just wanted to say that the students were so cute because they stayed after class talking with me about a lot of different topics. And one student ran into a foreigner in the park and he was asking her for directions, and she said she got really, really nervous and she was able to help him a little bit but not fully, and so she was asking me for some advice. Another student said that she'd seen a TikTok that said you shouldn't call a waiter or a waitress by that title. Like, if you want the waiter to come over, you should just say, "Excuse me." And they were like, "Is that true?" Which, yeah, that's definitely true. And then another student, I feel so bad for her. A guy walked up to her on the subway, a foreigner, and was like, "Hey, can I have your WeChat?" which is like our main contact app. So she said yes. But then he kept like spamming her with messages, like, "Come out to dinner with me, let's go on a date." And she's like, "I'm not really interested. I only added your WeChat because I didn't know how to say no to you." And he was starting to get a little bit aggressive. So I taught her the phrase toxic masculinity, because then he started berating her, and she was basically asking me for advice about how to deal with it. She's like 21, and she said this guy was in his 50s. So she was like, I don't know you. You're a stranger. You're much older than me. I'm not just gonna go on a date with a random guy, which is fully her right. But it was, I mean, I've stayed after class an extra like 25 minutes because all the students just had questions about their exam, but then they also had all of these experiences, apparently all this week, that they wanted to talk with me about. But let's go to dinner for real this time. Hi, hello. We are back home, and that was so much fun. I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen them, since I've hung out with them. We have been friends for a really long time. We actually used to work together at the same company. Then I moved to the school that we're at now, and when my school had openings, I was like, hey, do you guys want to come too? And they did. And so now we're all at the same company again. But we haven't seen each other in a while because the fall semester is always a little bit tough because in China, it's a little bit complicated. All of my friends are like freelancers or other teachers. So the beginning of a new school year is always a little bit chaotic, always a little bit stressful. People are figuring out their new system, their new schedules, but it's always complicated in the fall semester because of October. We have two holidays, Mid-Autumn Festival and then also the National Day that fall at like the end of September, beginning of October. And this year we had 5 weekends in a row that were abnormal because they move around the holidays. So 5 weeks is an entire month. You're already trying to get used to the new schedule and then everything's changing. Things don't really get normal until like mid-October all the way down to November, which is a little bit what it was like this year. And then I hurt my foot. So yeah, this week I have been seeing friends, but have I been seeing friends a lot? No, not this semester. It was just really fun to see them again. We don't usually play card games, but we're going to have a small gift exchange, like a white elephant thing, next week at our school's Christmas lunch. And so one of the guys brought an Uno game that he wanted to test out before he gave it as a gift to see if it was any fun. Oh my goodness, so fun. We played 2. One of them is called Uno Flip. Both of these I've never heard of before. Uno Flip and Uno No Mercy. Uno Flip is fun. Uno Mercy is where it's at though. I don't even like Uno that much. Uno No Mercy, so fun. It was just so good to relax and kind of forget everything. I think I really needed it today because how honest are we gonna be? How real are we going to get right now? That meeting did not go that well. It was just different from what I expected. I thought it was going to be a meeting all about the attendance policies because everyone is still confused about the attendance policies. All of the new teachers who are brand new to our school thought it was going to be about the grading procedures and how to submit grades and how to use the system. And instead, it was more about a reminder to not fail the students or be careful about failing students. This is not something that happened at our school, but there have been a couple of incidents in the country where students who have failed have, I don't know what I can say on YouTube. I don't know what it's going to like block or censor. They have brought certain utensils that you would use in the kitchen to school and have hurt people. And so the school was kind of just giving a reminder to not go crazy with failing students for no reason. And also they introduced that they were going to start doing personal development at our meetings, which I think sounds great. That's amazing. I know if I were a teacher in America, I would have to do like hours and hours and hours of PD. But here it's not really a thing. And it just brought up one of my biggest cons of being a teacher in China. I love my job. I absolutely love my job. I've been doing it for 10 plus years. My job gives me so many amazing benefits. I have a decent salary. I have amazing holidays. I genuinely love my work. I genuinely love teaching students. But like any job, there are pros and there are cons. And the cons, that at least for me, is that there really is no career ladder to climb. I am very much that type of person. Like type A, give me a challenge, give me a career. Like I want step by step by step by step. I want to go up, 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 up. That just doesn't really exist as a foreign teacher in China because, at least in my experience, all the schools that I've worked at, if you are a foreign teacher, they kind of just put you in this little box and they're like, oh, but you're not like a normal teacher. You're a foreign teacher. You're over there. And they generally give you less respect and less responsibility. Now, again, this is just my experience. Obviously, not every school is going to be the same, but in 10 plus years, I've worked at a lot of places and I've had a lot of friends who've worked in other places, and that's just generally the vibe. So I was really excited when they said that they were going to start doing PD, and I was like, oh, great. They're like taking this seriously and treating us like all the other teachers. But the PD ended up being a 5-minute presentation by one of the other foreign teachers who was talking about past tense verbs. And this is nothing about him. What he said was great, but it was 5 minutes. And I felt so discouraged because I got my hopes up that they were going to start taking the foreign teachers seriously. I mean, I'm getting my PhD in education. And I'm not saying that to like brag or say, oh, you don't have that, I have that. Like, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying I'm serious about this career. I love education. I put hours and hours and hours and hours of work into studying it and how to be a better teacher. I create content about how to be a better teacher. This is something I love. This is something I'm really passionate about. And it's just always a little bit discouraging when that's not really acknowledged. It was just a reminder that my career options in China are often limited in certain ways. And it just put me in a weird headspace. We didn't talk about the attendance policy. We didn't talk about grading. We just had like 2 5-minute presentations about past tense verbs. And it could have been so much more. And I think that's the thing that was bothering me. And I went to class a little bit like foggy, and the students were amazing. They did such a good job. The classes went really, really well. And I started to be reminded, okay, this is why I do this. The administration is just the administration. I deal with the administration like 5% of the time. Most of the time, I'm there with my students and I'm there for my students. And that encouraged me so much. And then to just go and hang out with my friends and not think about anything. Even though we're coworkers, we don't talk about work. It was just put it out of your mind, keep going. And it was exactly what I needed today, because sometimes I personally get a little bit discouraged about the career opportunities I wish were available to me and really aren't. But I think I'm going to end the vlog off here. Thank you so much for coming with me today. We had no idea what was going to happen. I'm still confused about the attendance, and all the new teachers still don't know how to input grades into the system, but we're all gonna figure it out. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next Vlogmas episode.